Thank you. Sandra?
Exactly.
John, joining us now is Evan Cohen, a student at the University of Michigan and president of Wolverine for Israel. Evan, thank you very much for joining us. I just want to put this up on the screen. It's a map showing where these protests are happening on campuses all over the country right now. Obviously, the number of states and universities has been growing by the day. The number of arrests made, 900 since April 18th, 275 arrests on Saturday alone, but none yet on your campus. Can you tell us what Jewish students have been experiencing there?
Yeah, thank you very much for having me. It's very difficult for Jewish students. I mean, seeing language like Intifada revolution, there's only one solution. It brings, strict fear to us. It strikes us with fear, seeing that, if we think about what happened during the first and second Intifada, that was violent uprisings against our friends and family, and so we feel like we're really being targeted. We're seeing other messaging, other flyers that have been handed out that glorify October 7th. We've seen flyers that quote Ismail Haniyeh, one of the leaders of Hamas. We've also seen flyers that say death to America. And so it impacts us Jewish students. Even recently, on a website called Greek Rank, which focuses on the sororities and fraternities at the university, we've seen very, very, very anti-Semitic rhetoric. For example, there was one post that suggested something like AE Pi should be turned into a gas chamber. And so, that's taking an extreme to the point where it's not safe for students, and it's also just, ruining the campus atmosphere.
Can I just go back to something you said about those pamphlets that have been circulated on campus? Because I ask you this question in the context of, not hearing anything formal from the current president about this situation. In fact, he had a member of Congress leading into a speech last week talking about how these are peaceful protests that these students are entitled to, yet you've provided us with a pamphlet, multiple pamphlets that have been circulating on your campus that glorify October 7th and Hamas, Evan?
Yes, that's correct. Those pamphlets are being passed around on our campus, and it's really deplorable to see that, and it's really frustrating that the university administration is not standing up for what's morally right and educating students, correcting against this disinformation. And it pains us deeply. We all have friends or family by a degree of separation, some even no degrees of separation, who were directly impacted, whether they were kidnapped or killed, or we know someone who is directly impacted by the events of October 7th. So seeing that glorified it's deplorable.
But what about just the bottom line, the basics of protecting students and ensuring their safety? I mean, I know that you said that you've been spit on just for being Jewish.
Yeah, absolutely. There was a time about 2 or so weeks ago where I was walking myself with a friend and a rabbi who were spat at, and it's incredible that we're seeing slowly escalating violence towards the Jewish students, towards the pro-Israel students. I mean, even yesterday they had a massive rally in which the anti-Israel students at the encampment brought in a whole variety of non-students to basically occupy the entire center of campus area. And in one of the speeches, they talked about how Zionists should feel uncomfortable on campus. And that's absolutely not how it should be. I mean, as we know, Zionism is the Jewish right to self-determination in our ancestral homeland. It's wrong to be saying that, and it's very disappointing to hear.
Evan, it's very disappointing to see and hear what you have to say is happening right there on your college campus, and fearing for your own safety and so many others as well. Evan, thank you for coming on with us. We'll certainly circle back and check back in with you, and we hope the situation gets better. Thank you.
Thank you.
Got some breaking news, John.
All right, we do enter the State Department now.